Padres postgame show on the Padres Radio Network. Coming up, we'll deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. Listen to Craig Stammen's postgame comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
Here's the pitch. Fernando swings, hits it on a line deep to left field. Bladay's going back. This one gonna go! A line drive, game-winning home run, just over the fence in left. And Fernando's second of the year, a game winner against the Reds with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. The stutter step at third is back. Tatis chucks the helmet as he approaches the plate, and everybody there to greet him as the Padres walk it off and win this thing by a final of 5-4.
A walk-off Wednesday afternoon here at Petco Park as Fernando Tatis Jr. wins it. A walk-off home run in the bottom half of the ninth inning as the Padres get a really, really nice come-from-behind win to win the rubber game of this series against the Reds and take 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati. Padres scoring 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning to tie it at 4, and then Fernando Tatis Jr. with the Padres down to their final out in that 9th inning. Only thing that stood between the Padres and Reds going to extra innings and the Padres winning it was somehow the Padres finding a way to win it in the bottom of the 9th, and Fernando Tatis Jr. hits a 2-out line drive home run, just got over the left field fence, his second home run of the season, and the crowd goes home very, very happy here in downtown San Diego. The final, Padres 5 and the Reds 4. I caught up with Fernando Tatis Jr. on the field moments ago.
Fernando, a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. You got the Gatorade bath and everything. What are your emotions right now?
Man, just happy we got a W as a team. We have been battling, we have been grinding together. And to get a period like this is well-deserved.
Low line drive of a home run. Did you think you got it when you hit it?
I did not. I came out of the box running hard. I was a kid on second, and thank God I went over the wall.
You alluded to it. This team has been grinding. This is a series win. This team's first series win in a little while. What's the significance of picking up this kind of win and a series win in particular?
It's huge. It's huge. Game momentum in a long season. It's always big, and we're fighting together as a group.
Fernando, you hit the home run on the road trip. You get your second here today. Do you feel like the power is starting to come a little bit?
Yeah, it's going to come. I have no doubt, obviously. We wanted to came sooner rather than later, but God has his plans, and we're just sticking to our work and, finding a way how to play good baseball there.
Fernando, congratulations on an amazing moment. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
That was Fernando Tatis Jr. right after his walk-off home run. What a way to wrap up this 6-game homestand. It was a gorgeous Wednesday here at Petco Park and a beautiful ending. Fernando Tatis Jr. wins it with his second home run of the season as the Padres take 2 out of 3 from the Reds. When we come back, we'll get into all the radio highlights, recap this game from start to finish. We'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen coming up a little bit later as well. Again, the final score, Fernando wins it on a walk-off home run. Padres beat the Reds 5-4 on the Padres Radio Network. Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue our postgame coverage. Padres win it. What an exciting win here on this Wednesday afternoon as the Padres win it 5-4. They win 2 out of 3 from the Reds, and the Padres will now hit the road for the start of a 9-game road trip beginning on Friday in Baltimore. As always, our postgame coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. Kick off summer at Jamul Casino Resort with the Players Block Party this Saturday, June 13th. Score $20 in free play, free food, and so much more. Visit JamulCasino.com for all the details. Now, what a rubber game of this 3-game series. The Padres trailed late, but they found a way. Let's rewind it.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Our starting pitching matchup today, Michael King for the Padres, Brady Singer on the mound for the Reds. King got off to a good start, a quick 1-2-3 first inning on just 7 pitches. In the bottom half of the inning, Jackson Merrill hit a 1-out single against Singer. Manny Machado was next.
And he swings, rips it over Stewart down the left field line into the corner. Merrill's on his horse heading towards third. Bob Henley going to wave him. Merrill's heading home. There will be no relay to the plate. An RBI double for Manny Machado. And the Padres strike. It's 1-0 in the first.
So 1-0 Padres lead early with 2 outs. Will Wagner blooped a little flare into left for a hit, but Machado was thrown out at home plate by the Reds left fielder J.J. Bleday. That kept it just a 1-0 Padre lead. King was really good early. 3 scoreless innings to begin his day. He had his first bout of trouble in the fourth, issuing a leadoff walk to Bleday. A wild pitch moved Bleday to second. With 1 out, it was Spencer Steer.
King delivers, Steer swings, hits it in the air to left field and deep. Samad Taylor's going back. He's at the wall. This one gonna go. Second deck for Padre killer Spencer Steer. A 2-run homer in the fourth, and the Reds will go ahead now. It's 2-1.
So a 2-run home run for Steer. Padres still trail 2-1 going to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Singer still working for Cincinnati. Rodolfo Duran hit a 1-out double. He was still on second base with 2 men away for Fernando Tatis Jr.
2-0 the pitch. Fernando hits it on the ground through the right side and a base hit. Duran around third. He is on his way. Marte gets to it. He will have no play. RBI single, Fernando Tatis Jr. And we are tied 2-2.
So Fernando, after a 4-hit day yesterday, continuing to swing the bat well. We had a 2-2 game going to the top of the 7th inning. King was still working on the mound. It was J.J. Bleday who dug in for Cincinnati.
King will turn and deliver. The 1-0 pitch is hit in the air deep down the right field line, headed towards the Petco porch and gone. A home run for J.J. Bleday. And the Reds have gone back ahead 3-2 with 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
King would go 6 2/3 innings, allow 3 runs. Singer went 6 and allowed 2 runs. Ron Marinaccio was on the mound for the top of the 8th inning. Padres still trailing at that point 3-2. Eugenio Suarez dug in.
Swings here. Suarez hits a towering drive deep to left field. Taylor's back at the wall. He will watch. It's going to go.
Thank
a
you.
moonshot home run for Eugenio Suarez. His 5th of the season, and the Reds have added on with their 3rd home run of the day. 4-2 Cincinnati here in the top of the 8th.
Padres trailed 4-2 going to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Lefty Caleb Ferguson came on for the Reds. Jackson Merrill hit a leadoff double. A couple batters later, it was Gavin Sheets.
Sheets swings, rips it in the air down the right field line. That's going to be a fair ball. Merrill will come in to score. Sheets on his way to second base. It's another double and a 1-run game.
So a 4-3 game. The Reds brought in right-hander Tony Santillan into the game. Jace Bowen pinch ran for Sheets at second base. Bowen was there, 2 outs, the tying run in scoring position. Guess who? It was Samad Taylor at the plate.
First pitch from Santillan, and a line drive up the middle into center and a base hit. Bowen rounding third on his way. Myers' throw is coming to the plate. It's cut off, and an RBI single by who else? Samad Taylor ties the game. 4-4 here in the 8th.
A 4-4 game. The Padres with a furious rally in the bottom half of the 8th inning. They were tied at 4 going to the 9th inning. Wandy Peralta came on for the Padres in the top of the 9th. He got through a scoreless frame. So Padres tied 4-4 with the Reds going bottom 9. Chase Petty came into the game for the Cincinnati Reds, the right-hander. Rodolfo Duran grounded out for out number 1. Sung-Moon Song grounded out for out number 2. We were 1 out away from going to extras, but then it was Fernando Tatis Jr.
Here's the pitch. Fernando swings, hits it on a line deep to left field. Blede's going back. This one gonna go! A line drive, game-winning home run! Just over the fence in left. And Fernando's second of the year, a game winner against the Reds with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. The stutter step at third is back. Tatis chucks the helmet as he approaches the plate, and everybody there to greet him as the Padres walk it off and win this thing by a final of 5-4.
What an ending here at Petco Park. Fernando Tatis Jr., his second home run of the season. Man, oh man, does that have to feel good for Fernando. He's been swinging the bat well. The power's still sort of searching for it, and he finally came through with just enough to get the ball over the left field fence. Padres win the rubber game of this series 5-4. And they take 2 out of 3 from the Reds. Final totals here today for San Diego: 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors. For Cincinnati, 4 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. Padres improved to 35-32. Reds dropped to 32-35. Winning pitcher today, Wandy Peralta, well-deserved. He pitched the scoreless 9th inning to keep it tied at 4. And the losing pitcher was Chase Petty, who gave up the walk-off home run to Nando. When we return, we'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen. Padres win it 5-4 on this Wednesday afternoon. A little remote work Wednesday for you. We're going to talk about that because I was up there for part of the game doing some remote work with the people. We're going to talk about that and much, much more. Happy recap as the Padres win it on this Wednesday. Our post-game coverage continues after this. Wednesday afternoon, Fernando Tatis Jr., the walk-off home run as the Padres beat the Cincinnati Reds 5-4 in this rubber game of a 3-game series. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building as we continue our post-game coverage. Kickoff summer at Jamul Casino Resort with the Players Block Party this Saturday, June 13th. Score $20, free play, free food, and so much more. Visit jamulcasino.com for all the details. Man, there's a lot to talk about in this game today. Obviously, Fernando had some big moments, had the RBI single in the 5th inning to tie the game at 2, had the game-winning swing in the bottom half of the 9th inning, his 2nd home run of the year. You know, look, just by average, Fernando's hitting .281 on the year, and I know the slug, the OPS, is not where you want it to be. He knows that. Everybody knows that. But if he can just start hitting some balls out like he did today, like he did on the road trip, and pair it with what he's doing average-wise, he can turn this season around really quickly. I'm not going to tell you he's going to hit 40 home runs this year. He would have to go on an incredible tear to do something like that. But could he get hot enough to hit you 20? Again, I think you would ask for more than that at the start of the season, but we are where we are. And Fernando had 4 hits yesterday, 2 hits here today, 2 RBIs, including the game-winning swing on the home run. So this was a really nice couple of days for Fernando, and he is swinging the bat well. So that's great to see. Jackson Merrill had a couple of hits in this game. You know, the Padres, again, they're not tied at 4 in the bottom half of the 8th inning. If they don't get the double from Merrill to start the 8th, the RBI double from Sheets to make it 4-3. And then what more can you say about Samad Taylor? I mean, this guy has had his fingerprints all over these ball games. Defensively, made another great catch again today. Threw out a guy at home plate once in this series. Had another hit, game-tying RBI single in the bottom half of the 8th inning. You cannot say enough about the impact that Samad Taylor has made in every facet of the game. Did it again here today with the game-tying single in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Michael King in this game was good. He was good. 6 2/3 innings, 3 runs given up. He basically made 2 mistakes. It was the home run to Steer in the 4th, the home run to Blade in the 7th. But aside from that, Michael was good. He was certainly better today than he's been his last few outings. 6 2/3 innings, 3 runs given up. Ron Marinaccio gave up a run, but kept him in the ball game. Wandy Peralta, scoreless 9th inning. That was big to keep the game tied at 4. And I do think at the end of the day, on one hand, it was a little disappointing for the Padres today against the guy in Brady Singer, who's been giving up a ton of runs and a ton of home runs. The fact that they only got 2 runs in 6 innings against them. However, the Padres did what you hope they could do against a bad bullpen in the Reds' pen. They got 2 runs to tie it. They got Petty in the 9th inning to win it with the Tatis home run. So they ended up scoring 3 runs in 3 innings against them to win the game. Look, when you're facing a bullpen like this that has been so rough for the Reds, you got to find a way. And they really struggled with that last night. And sort of somehow, some way, they find a way to win today and win this series. So a lot of good stuff. And Fernando, that's a great moment for him. It's been such a rough year in the power department for Fernando. For him to hit a home run, it did just get out. It was a low line drive, but he got enough to get it out of here just by maybe a couple of inches. But that was big for Fernando. And anytime you see that guy smiling, having fun, being that energy bolt that we've known to we've come to know and love. That's a big deal, and you hope that energy is infectious and the Padres can take a little bit of that energy and momentum into what is a very long 9-game road trip coming up beginning on Friday in Baltimore. With all that in mind, let's go downstairs and hear from Craig Stammen.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres skipper Craig Stammen. Served up by Sin Lee Food. If you've had better chicken, you must be a rooster.
Craig, what did you make of the fight today? The end.
Yeah, good fight. You know, we've had good fight the whole year. Like, there's nothing I can say that we can do more. And as far as that aspect goes, the dugouts stayed lively even in the days where it just doesn't seem like we'll ever get a hit with runner in scoring position. But, you know, it makes the days when you stay positive and stay after it, the days that it does come through, makes them a little bit better.
Tatis, like, both of his homers sort of make you think, gosh, it's weird he hasn't run into more like that. What are your thoughts? Is that one's kind of
that's exactly my thought. It's a wonder that he hasn't just ran into a few more. We see other guys hit home runs and it seems like they're just running into balls, but it's not that easy to hit a home run in the major leagues. We take it for granted with some of these guys, and it's just nice to see Fernando sneak one over the wall today.
I know there's just no way to predict it, but like when he does do that, when you guys do bounce back like this, do you just have this hope, this belief that, okay, this will be what it is that gets us going?
Yeah, I think we're I don't know if we expect, like, as the season goes, like what that'll look like. Right now we're like so entrenched in like just getting through the day and being positive about the day and making it a good day that, a game like today, you get down a couple runs there and we haven't been scoring runs, to keep at it, to still believe that we got a chance to come back. I think that's a testament to these guys believing in the day and not worrying about what's in the future or what's happened in the past.
I know Fernando wasn't hitting home runs, but he has been pretty hot at the plate lately. Is this kind of maybe like, is he back, you think, kind of, now that he's kind of got that pull side?
I don't think he ever left personally, but this is just the waves of baseball. If that was a stretch in the middle of the season, it would probably be less talked about. But because it's at the beginning of the season, those are the only stats we can look at, is like specifically what they are from the beginning to now. But I do think like he's definitely making some strides as far as where he's, getting his singles and getting hits, hitting with runners in scoring position, taking better at bats, controlling the strike zone better. And then we've seen a few barrels here of late too, a few doubles, and the double to right field yesterday, the home run to left here. He's definitely been putting in the work, and sometimes the work doesn't just translate in a day or two. It takes time, and the hitting coaches have done a great job with him staying patient. He's done a great job staying positive and smiling and being okay with failing sometimes. But I think his perseverance has showed here lately.
What can then a moment like this do for him to build the confidence?
Yeah, I think it's just belief, a little bit of belief, like what I'm doing is right and what I've been doing is right, and that, yeah, I am still Fernando Tatis Jr., and he is. And, he can change a game at any moment. And he had some big hits today that helped us win the game.
What did you think about, the pitching basically went like it kind of had to. Michael had to go long, and then your guys that were available had to do what they did.
Yeah, we talked about this a few times, but the strength of our bullpen is all of the bullpen. And to have guys like Ron Marinaccio and Wandy Peralta, who haven't pitched a ton in this series, be able to come in and, I know Ron gave up the homer, but to get out of that inning and then Wandy to come, face the top of the order, like it's no big deal. Get a double play ball, get a couple ground balls, which is what he does. It's nice to have those types of veteran players that can come in and get outs. Huge for our bullpen, huge to save those guys, give them 2 days off and get ready for Baltimore.
What have you thought of Will Wagner coming up here?
Yeah, it reminds me of Jake Cronenworth. Those at-bats that we missed from Jake, just the professional, consistent at-bat. He looks very similar in the box, and I think when we traded for him, last year, we felt like that's the type of at-bat we were going to get somebody that could control the zone and, handle some right-handed pitching for us. So he's definitely in 2 days has impressed us, greatly. Not that we didn't know this, before. He just didn't have as much of an opportunity, but he's going to get some more opportunities going forward.
Two things. The homestand, how did you think the team played across the whole homestand now that you can look at it? And Jackson seems to be putting some good swings on it too.
Yeah, I'll start with Jackson. Jackson's definitely, swinging the bat a lot better. Anytime that we see him going the opposite field, that's what we saw from him when we drafted him, what we saw in the minor leagues. He could just seem like he could hit a line drive right there at the shortstop in between third base on command. And now we're seeing a few hits that way. I think he's building confidence in that, and that's allowing him to, swing a little bit more free at the plate. So, trending in the right direction. Again, same thing as Toddy, is he's just putting in a lot of work, and it hasn't happened right away. He's stuck with it, believed in the plan, believed in the coaches, and now we're seeing a little bit of the results. As far as how our team played this homestand, I would say just okay. Not our best, not our worst. We found a way to win a couple games to salvage, probably an even homestand, 3-3, I guess is what we ended up being. Today was a big day. To end the homestand even instead of 2-4 is huge. I want to say one game matters a ton, but, just the overall perception of how the team is playing, an extra win always helps.
What has Samad's energy meant for this group?
Yeah, huge. We talked about that a little bit with Jackson, the energy that he brings as a young player, they don't need to sleep as much at night, and they still have the same energy during the day. Samad brings that type of energy. He's got a no-quit attitude. He's been a player that's had to work for everything that he's gotten. A small guy with speed, he's going to play that kind of game. And, him in the dugout, it didn't matter what the score was, what the situation of the game was. He's up and down the dugout talking, pumping guys up like he'd been here all year. And, for me, like having that conversation with him when he first got here, I'm very proud of him for being able to be confident in himself enough to be able to do that. And, it's awesome when he's gotten a few really big hits too. That probably helps a little bit, but Samad's been just a great addition for us here this week.
That was Padres manager Craig Stammen following this 5-4 win for the Padres against the Cincinnati Reds. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. I do want to talk about Merrill for a moment because I agree with Craig. It does feel like Jackson Merrill is starting to show the last couple of days, starting to show not just some signs of collecting more hits, but I think also signs of being the type of hitter that when he's at his best, he usually is. And you heard the point there about Jackson going the other way. And I've seen that too the last few days. Those simple hits the other way, whether it be the single in the first inning, the double in the eighth inning. When you see Jackson starting to go the other way so naturally like that, that's what reminds you of his rookie year when he was so consistently good. His ability to go to the other field, to go to left, to just sort of drive it the other way, not always with an incredible amount of power, but be able to hit line drives the other way. And it does feel like Jackson is showing a little bit more of that. So hopefully it's a sign of him starting to turn the corner. Goes without saying, that's a wonderful moment for Fernando. Again, is Fernando quote unquote back? We'll see, right? I mean, this team has had nice moments offensively, big wins, and it hasn't necessarily carried over one day to the next. So we'll see how it all transpires. But look, even though it was only a 3-3 homestand, this is a big win here today. I mean, this is the first time the Padres have won a series since winning 2 out of 3 from the A's. That was a series from May 22nd to May 24th. It's their first series win since then. And there's no doubt that had they got on the plane to Baltimore today, coming off what would have been a 2-4 homestand if they lost today, losing both series to a couple of teams with losing records and the Mets and the Reds, you're not feeling very good. You're not feeling very good about where this is going. And by the way, had the Padres lost today, they would have dropped to 1 game above 500. I mean, you're getting dangerously close to dropping back to 500. And then from there, who knows what happens. But here today, they found a way, little reminiscent of some of the early wins they had this season. They somehow found a way. They did what you thought they should do against a very gettable Reds bullpen, and the Padres find a way. Tatis wins it with a walk-off home run. If you want to get a phone call in, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call, 833-288-0973. The phone number if you want to chime in about today's win. When we come back, we'll get into our daily awards. We have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard and much more as the Padres win it on a Tatis walk-off home run on this Wednesday afternoon on the Padres Radio Network. Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Final score here today, Padres 5 and the Reds 4 as the Padres win it on a walk-off line drive. Home run from Fernando Tatis Jr. just got out of here above the left field fence. I mean, just got out of here by maybe an inch or two, but hey, that's all the Padres needed to win this one. Fernando's second home run of the year, a very memorable one, and hopefully a sign of things to come for Fernando Tatis Jr. and the San Diego Padres as they take 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati. Kick off summer at Jamul Casino Resort with the Players Block Party this Saturday, June 13th. Everyone enjoys $20 in free play, free food, and so much more. We'll get to your phone calls here coming up in a bit. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973, the phone number to call. But first, let's tell you about today's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, brought to you by San Diego criminal defense attorney David P. Shapiro. We help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Learn more at davidpshapirolaw.com.
Lefty to lefty against Peralta. First pitch is hit on the ground to Manny at third. He's got it. Goes to second one. Song's turn to first is in time. A 5-6-3 double play. And the Reds know oh so well that's what Wandy Peralta can do.
Yeah, what a nice double play induced by Wandy Peralta. He is today's relief pitcher of the game, a scoreless top of the 9th inning, kept the game tied at 4 and set the stage for Fernando's heroics in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Ron Marinaccio did a pretty good job out of the bullpen today as well. Inning and a third, did give up the run in the 8th inning to extend the Reds' lead to 4-2. But aside from that, gave you a little bit of length, got 4 outs. I'll tell you what, too, he came in the 7th and stranded a runner on base in the 7th inning as well. So good job not allowing an inherited runner to score from Marinaccio, but we'll hand relief pitcher of the game today to Peralta, who again got through a scoreless top of the 9th inning and set the stage for Fernando in the bottom half of the 9th. Let's tell you about the heart of the Padres order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the Heart of the Order, presented by Palomar Health, the official healthcare provider of 97.3 The Fan. Palomar Health, leading with heart for every patient. Palomar Health is reimagining healthcare.
Part of the order here today, Machado, Sheets, and Wagner, the 3, 4, 5 spots. Manny had a hit. That was a double, RBI double that came back in the first inning. Gavin Sheets had a big hit in this game. RBI double to make it 4-3. That was in the 8th inning, and then Sheets would score the tying run on the Samad Taylor RBI single. So good days or good moments for Machado and Sheets, and then you had Will Wagner, 2 hits today, including a double. So very productive day for the 3, 4, 5 spots. Heart of the order, Manny, Sheets, and Wagner. They combined for 4 hits, 3 doubles, a couple of RBIs. Nice day for the 3, 4, 5 hitters. All right, let's go to the phones. 833-288-0973, phone number to call. Let's begin on the phones on this Wednesday afternoon after a thrilling 5-4 win for the Padres against the Reds to win this series. Let's begin with Ben calling in from Pacific Beach. Hi, Ben. Welcome to our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show. Go ahead.
What's up, Sam? How are you?
Doing well.
Thanks for having me on. I always appreciate you taking my phone calls. The homer from Fernando, obviously electric, awesome. We loved it. But what I loved was the hits with runners in scoring position. I mean, Gavin, Samad Taylor, even Fernando had one, I believe. It's just so nice to see that when you have guys coming up, getting on base, taking a walk, that we can actually hit them home. That is what has been the most inspiring thing to me, especially since yesterday was so depressing, base loaded, can't get one in. But, today, this is what really charged me up, and I hope they can continue going on into the next series in Baltimore.
Yeah, Ben, good phone call. I agree with you. Look, Padres win 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Here's what's amazing. Yesterday, they had twice the opportunities, and somehow they had less hits with runners in scoring position. They went 3 for 20 yesterday, as you probably remember in that extra inning affair last night. 3 for 20 here today was 4 for 10. And look, a lot of credit to what they did in the bottom half of the 8th inning in particular. You're down 4-2. To that point offensively, it had sort of been same old story. Yeah, Manny had the RBI double in the 1st inning. Fernando had the RBI single in the 5th inning. But to that point, it had kind of been same old story with the offense not doing a whole lot, and you're sitting there down 4-2. But Merrill the double, Sheets the RBI double. Taylor, how good has he been? RBI single to tie the game at 4. And again, we talked about Wandy Peralta sort of setting the stage for Fernando's heroics in the bottom of the 9th inning. Well, that rally in the 8th inning did the same as well. Big time hits from Merrill, Sheets, and Taylor in that 8th inning to tie the game at 4. So you're spot on, Ben. Hitting with runners in scoring position today, a big reason why the Padres won this game. All right, we'll continue to get your phone calls in, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call, again, 833-288-0973. When we come back, full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, our play of the game. We'll hand things over to today's edition of Gwynn and Chris in just a little bit right here on the Padres Radio Network. Wednesday afternoon, the final score, Padres 5 and the Reds 4 as the Pods win it on a walk-off home run from Fernando Tatis Jr. They win 2 out of 3 from the Cincinnati Reds. They now hit the road for the start of a 9-game road trip to be beginning on Friday. Padres en route to Baltimore right now, a road trip that will take them to Baltimore, St. Louis, and Texas, playing the Rangers in Arlington. So 9-game trip, 3 against the Orioles, 3 against the Cardinals, and 3 against the Texas Rangers. So it is going to be a while until the Padres are back home. I will tell you, though, they do return home to face the Atlanta Braves on June 22nd. So it's going to be 12 days from now on June 22nd. It's a 3-game series against the Braves and the Dodgers. So going to be a little bit, but hey, gave you a nice memory to hold you over with the Fernando Tatis Jr. walk-off home run in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Second home run of the year for Fernando. Very, very nice moment, and hopefully a sign of things to come for Fernando and the Padres, who go 3-3 on this homestand. They lose 2 out of 3 against the Mets. They bounce back. They win 2 out of 3 against the Cincinnati Reds. Let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, tell you what's going on around the majors on this Wednesday.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
Well, the Giants, speaking of walk-off wins, they won it in the bottom half of the ninth inning on a walk-off grand slam from the young Bryce Eldridge to win it 11-10. In San Francisco today. They beat the Washington Nationals. Again, a walk-off grand slam from Bryce Eldridge as the Giants win it. Yankees beat the Guardians 8-4 in Cleveland, and the Rays beat the Red Sox 7-5 in Tampa Bay. We've got a handful of games going on right now. Mariners and the Orioles are scoreless in the fifth inning. In Baltimore, the Marlins lead the D-backs 1-0. In Miami in the fourth inning, Dodgers ahead of the Pirates 2-0 in Pittsburgh in the fourth. The Phillies lead the Blue Jays 1-0 in Toronto in the third. Cardinals ahead of the Mets 2-0 early in New York. Second inning there. Braves and the White Sox are scoreless in the first inning in Chicago. Rangers and the Royals in Kansas City in the first inning. They're scoreless there. We do have a rain delay before first pitch right now in Detroit. Twins and the Tigers hoping to get underway at some point. Cubs and the Rockies in Colorado at 5:40. Brewers and the A's in Las Vegas at 6:05. A's playing in Las Vegas this week. The Astros and the Angels in Anaheim at 6:38. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Wednesday. Well, the Padres and Reds were tied today 4-4 going to the bottom of the ninth inning. There were 2 outs, nobody on. And then Mr. Fernando Tatis Jr. provided today's play of the game.
One bounce, one hit, one pitch can be the difference between victory and defeat. What was the most important play in today's game? This is today's play of the game. Presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Restoration and Flood. We know how.
Here's the pitch. Fernando swings, hits it on a line deep to left field. Bleday's going back. This one, gonna go! A line drive, game-winning home run! Just over the fence in left. And Fernando's second of the year, a game winner against the Reds with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. The stutter step at third is back. Tatis chucks the helmet as he approaches the plate, and everybody there to greet him as the Padres walk it off and win this thing by a final of 5-4.
What a moment for Fernando Tatis Jr., the walk-off home run Fernando for Tatis. That was his 5th career walk-off hit. The 5th of the season for the Padres. Fernando won a game against Cincinnati, ironically, against the Reds in September of last year on a sac fly. So his first walk-off since then. Does it again against the Cincinnati Reds. And again, it wasn't just about Fernando today. Michael King, solid 6 2/3 innings, 3 runs given up, 7 hits. He threw 106 pitches. Very effective today for the most part. Gave up a couple of home runs. That was the real issue. Bullpen today, Marinaccio did a nice job inning in the third. Peralta scoreless 9th inning to get the game to the bottom half of the 9th inning, tied at 4. And then, of course, you had the 8th inning rally. Again, that's as big of a story to me as the Fernando home run. The fact that the Padres were down 4-2, going to the bottom half of the 8th inning. To that point, it was sort of same old story. And then Merrill leadoff double, Sheets 1-out double to drive Merrill in, and then Samad Taylor RBI single in the 8th inning to tie the game at 4. How big has Samad Taylor been in every way? Offensively, with runners in scoring position, defensively. I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to what Samad Taylor has come up here and done. So a true team win here tonight, gutsy, gritty, and to me, reminiscent of the kinds of wins they were getting at the start of the year when, yes, the big guys weren't hitting, but they were sort of just finding a way each and every day. You hope there's a bit of a return to that as they now hit the road. I caught up with Fernando Tatis Jr. on the field right after today's walk-off blast.
Fernando, a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth inning. You got the Gatorade bath and everything. What are your emotions right now?
Man, just happy we got a W as a team. We have been battling, we have been grinding together. And to get a period like this is well deserved.
Low line drive of a home run. Did you think you got it when you hit it?
I did not. I came out of the box running hard. I was a get on second, and thank God I went over the wall.
You alluded to it. This team has been grinding. This is a series win. This team's first series win in a little while. What's the significance of picking up this kind of win and a series win in particular?
It's huge. It's huge. Game momentum in a long season. So it's big, and we're fighting together as a group.
Fernando, you hit the home run on the road trip. You get your second here today. Do you feel like the power is starting to come a little bit?
Yeah, it's going to come. I have no doubt, obviously. We wanted to came sooner rather than later, but God has his plans, and we're just sticking to our work and, finding our way how to play good baseball there.
Fernando, congratulations on an amazing moment. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
That was Fernando Tatis Jr. right after today's 5-4 win. Nando with the walk-off home run. And you heard me allude to the first series win for the Padres in a while. Their first series win since the series against the A's from May 22nd to May 24th when they took 2 out of 3 from the Athletics. So let's see here. How many series had it been since the Padres won a series? 1, 2, 3, 4. So their first series win in 4 series, in 5 series, including this one. So that's good. And now they're going to hit the road for a long road trip, and you hope they can take some momentum into that road trip beginning on Friday in Baltimore. Taking a look ahead to that series in Baltimore, give you a little preview. Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Baltimore against the Baltimore Orioles. Friday starting pitcher, right-hander Griffin Canning. Saturday, right-hander Randy Vasquez. Sunday, right-hander Walker Buehler will be on the mound for the Padres. First pitch on Friday at 4:05 p.m. Here on the West Coast, and our pregame coverage will begin at 3:05. And again, right-hander Griffin Canning on the mound for the Padres in Game 1 of that 3-game series in Baltimore, Game 1 of a 9-game road trip. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage here today, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available on the free Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts. You can also go back on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube stream and watch any portion of our post-game coverage there as well. By the way, before I go, I do want to mention one thing before we get to the final totals. So today here at Petco Park, they had the first remote work Wednesday, and it was really cool. It really, really was. Believe it or not, a lot of people brought their laptops. They had a setup beyond center field, sort of by the beach area beyond center field. I unfortunately didn't get out there, but they actually had a setup with chairs and desks and actually places for people to work. It looked like maybe they even had charging stations there as well. Like, it was a real setup where you could work. You really could. You could sit there and with a mouse, with a laptop, with a book, whatever, and work. But not only that, then in section 324, I think it was, they had a large group of people who all bought tickets together and had their laptops out, and they were really sitting up their laptops out. I think some people were really working, remote working from the ballpark. And I do want to give a special shout out to Scott, who is on Instagram. I should shout out his Instagram. Give me a second here. Make sure I do this properly, because, I mean, he really influenced, we talk about influencers, right? He really influenced this remote work day at the ballpark. Scott Muirhead. I should have asked Scott how he pronounces his last name. I'm not sure, but it's Scott Muirhead. I'm not sure if I pronounced the last name right, but his name is Scott. That's his Instagram, and he's been making these videos where he goes all over the place and brings a desk and a lamp and a laptop, and he's remote working from everywhere. I mean, he's doing it on mountains. The guy's made video. He's on a surfboard with his laptop. I mean, you got to check out his Instagram. There's really great videos on there. And I suppose he's based here in San Diego, so the Padres did a great job collaborating with him, and he was here today. This guy was such a celebrity today. I mean, I saw it with my own two eyes up in section 324. Everybody asking him for photos. I ended up doing a video with him, so I'll post that maybe tomorrow. But great guy, couldn't have been nicer. And to me, it was a totally successful remote work Wednesday and really fun and capped off by a great Padres win. Really, really fun. And I want to shout out the Padres and Chris Connolly and all the marketing department and Scott, who, really spearheaded this whole thing with his content and his posts. It was really, really good. So we'll see if they do it again. I'm not sure what exactly the plans are, but that was awesome today. And I was really excited to meet Scott, see everybody up there, and I said hello to a few people up there as well. So really good stuff. And a great win as well. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that before we got off the air. Final totals here today as the Padres win the rubber game of this series. Padres, 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors. They left on 6. For the Reds, 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors. They left on 9. Winning pitcher today, Wandy Peralta, who improves to 1-0. Losing pitcher was Chase Petty, who drops to 0-1. Time of game, 2 hours and 37 minutes in the crowd at Petco Park on this remote work Wednesday here in downtown San Diego, 37,393. Once again, first pitch on Friday in Baltimore comes your way at 4:05 p.m. on the West Coast. Our pregame coverage will begin at 3:05. Until then, for our great studio coordinator today, Kyle Obenshire, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long from Petco Park. Again, the final score here today, the San Diego Padres 5 and the Cincinnati Reds 4. We'll talk to you on Friday right here on the Padres Radio Network. Today's edition of Winning Chris coming up next.
Thanks for joining us for the Jamul